Hey guys, it's Joel from guntoter.org. Welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to be talking about the Brigade Firearms Makasi rifle. Now, it's been a hot minute since I actually made a video, and I apologize for that. But I wanted to start off with something that I think is a really cool addition to kind of the firearms world. Probably a good time to admit I'm a little bit of a sucker for email marketing. So got an email and scrolling through it, like, AR, AK, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Hey, what was that? Like, that looked like an FAL, but that was definitely an AR mag sticking out of it. So scroll back up and took a look at it. And it was the Brigade Firearms Makasi. Now, it's advertised as an AR-15 FAL hybrid. And I find this really intriguing. First off, because I like the lines of the FAL, and I also just kind of like rifles that are a little weird. But, you know, a few impulse control issues later, once I actually got one in my hands, I really think they've done a great job with putting this thing together. So this is going to be kind of the initial impressions overview. Haven't had a chance to go shoot it. I will do a follow-up once I actually get a chance to go do that. But we're just going to talk a little bit about the features, what I like, what I don't like, and try to give you a good idea, kind of what it is, because there's really not a lot out there on the internet that I've seen other than the initial announcement from SHOT Show, and then a whole bunch of speculation, and then advertisements from the company itself and some of their retailers. So let's get started. First off, what is this thing? All right, this is the Makossi. All right, as you can look at it, obviously the receiver here, very, very FAL inspired. Really easy to see that. A little bit of overview about it. It's about a 7-pound rifle. Has a 16-inch 1-in-7 twist barrel. M-lock handguard, so 12-inch M-lock handguard. It's got a side charging handle. I'll show you that there. Side charging, very FAL. And then, the takedown is also very FAL back here versus the pin on an AR. And then you have a paratrooper style folding stock, which folds over to the left. Now, yes, looks very much like an FAL. So what's cool about this? What's different about this? I like the fact that they maintained the look of the FAL, but also adapted a lot of AR parts to this gun. Why do I care that they put AR parts in this gun? Availability, right? If you don't like the trigger, switch it out. You don't like the pistol grip, switch it out. Same thing, safety, magazine catch, right? These are all things that probably the most commonly changed things on an AR, and you can do the same thing here with this rifle. It's super easy to switch out. Now, before I jump into everything, when you open your box, if you get one of these, when you open your box, you do get a set of these Magpul backup iron sights. They are the polymers. You will also get 2 magazines. You'll get one straight 20 rounder and one 30 rounder, both from ASC. I really do think if you like the FAL look, the straight 20 rounder really does kind of set off that FAL look, but that's kind of me being a little weird. So, parts compatibility. There are a ton of parts on this that are AR compatible. Like I said already, magazine catch, the trigger, the pistol grip, the safety, those are all AR compatible. But importantly, on the inside, your bolt is a straight AR bolt. Your firing pin, your cam pin, and your firing pin retaining pin, all straight AR components. Now, that's cool because it's parts availability, right? Things break, you want to play with stuff, you want to change out extractors and springs, and you want to mess with stuff, you can. This trigger, when I tested it, it's pretty much a stock military spec trigger. On the heavier end, like it's a 7-pound trigger with a 10 pull average. That's kind of a nasty trigger, but it's easy to change out, right? You can toss an ALG in here, you can toss a 2-stage, whatever. The accessories that it comes with are strike, so your pistol grip is strike, your ambi safety is strike, your mag release is strike, and your ejection port cover is also strike. The one thing that it might be strike, but it is not one that you can change out to the best of my knowledge, your bolt catch right here, all right, they had to actually bend this top paddle to get around the charging handle. So you are not going to be able to put a straight AR bolt catch on here. Not going to work. Now, if you're handy with machinery or, you know, whatever, you could probably make one that would fit it. To be honest though, I don't know that you're going to need one, because they actually gave a lot of space. Both paddles are oversized, much larger than you're going to find on a standard AR. Not as large as, say, like the Geisley Maritime, but probably around the size of like a Forward Controls design bolt catch. So realizing, right, that they weren't going to be able to change it out, they put a lot of effort into making sure that the one they put on here was good. Some things that I'm sure people will ask and might come up as an issue. Is it a quick change barrel? No, it is not. And it is only offered in 5.56 at this time. With that said, it is an AR barrel. It is an AR barrel that they've done a little bit of work to modify to fit the gas block. So, in theory, it would be very easy to change this out with a little bit of machining skill. And, you know, since it obviously uses standard AR bolt and everything, that means that the barrel extension is probably just a standard AR. So it is possible that this could be offered very easily in the future in other calibers, but right now it is only offered in 5.56. If I had to guess, the company has not told me this, it's not, you know, I'm not speaking for them. But if I had to guess, like 300 blackout is an obvious one, maybe a 6.5. I've seen people asking for a 6.5 in some of the Reddit boards, and also some weird 280 caliber that honestly I'm not up on, and I'll probably never be able to find locally. So, but those discussions are out there, and the possibility is there that it could come out in other calibers if it's popular enough. But right now, they only sell 5.56, and it is not a quick change barrel. But one more AR compatible part, the flash suppressor. The flash suppressor that comes with it is a 3-prong, but it's a standard 1/2 x 28, so you can switch it out to whatever you want. Yet again, another option as far as things you can switch out on here that are 100% AR compatible. Some interesting things on here. The bolt carrier itself looks very AR, but it is not. It is modified to work inside this rifle. Obviously, there's no buffer tube here, so what you have is the buffer is actually up here and is completely contained within the upper itself. This is kind of where it varies a little bit from like a standard FAL. For those of you familiar with the standard FAL gas system, it is a short stroke, which this is a short stroke, but it had basically a gas chamber up front here, and then it had a one-piece piston that went all the way from the gas chamber back to the bolt carrier. They did not do that on this rifle. Actually, they went with an AR-180. It is an AR-180 gas system. So instead of having the one piece sitting inside kind of that gas chamber, you have a 3-piece that sits over top of a gas nipple coming off the block. So if you have looked at like a BRN 180 gas system, it's pretty much that. It is a 2-position gas system. You have suppressed, unsuppressed. It's another area where it differs from the FAL. The FAL had multiple settings. So just some things to think about as far as kind of the thought they put into this. Not only did they make this thing kind of faithful to the overall look of an FAL, while maintaining as much parts compatibility as they could with the AR platform. They also made sure that they had a known gas system in here in the AR-180. As far as kind of other things that I'm not going to say I don't like them, but just kind of to be aware, there is a little bit of a lack of QD sockets on here. Obviously up front you have the 2, and then you can put them anywhere on the M-LOK, but in the back you only have 1, and that is actually located right here, so it is on the right side of the gun. Now obviously, putting one on the left side of the gun might have interfered with the actual folding of the stock, but there's also not one to the rear at all, and part of the reason for that is the spring for the takedown lever here is actually here. So if you were to try to put a QD there, you wouldn't be able to actually bore it into the back end here. Now what you could do, because this 1913 block is pretty big, you could shift this if you wanted to and maybe put a 1913 QD mount somewhere on here, but that's kind of up to you, and you'd really have to play with it and see how it works as far as interfering with the folding stock, because you don't want to do that. But overall, I really do think that they put a lot of effort into this. The folding stock is their own, they say it's their own design. It reminds me very much of the Ace or the Double Star style stock, but it's very basic. But like I said, big old 1913 block here. You can change this out, put whatever you want on it. I believe this is about an 8 3/4 length stock. The one thing you're going to have to watch out for is if you put a longer stock on here, you are going to interfere with this. So as you can see, when it folds, it sits right below that charging handle. Anything longer than the stock one that comes with it, and you're actually going to be on the charging handle, which means it's not going to fold all the way. Now, maybe it's worth it to you to mess with, but that's just, kind of a thought. Other than that, I mean, it's really just kind of a cool rifle. Like, they obviously put a lot of effort into it. I really look forward to getting it to the range and shooting it, because I think it's going to be fun. So those are my initial impressions. If you have questions, like if I glazed over something real quick, or if I didn't mention a feature that maybe you have a question about, hit me up in the comments. I know that I read all the comments. I know it's been like a year since I've actually answered any comments. I'm sorry for that. It's been a little rough, but I am going back. I am reading through some of the comments. I'm going to start answering them. If I don't answer your comment that you left previously, it's not because I'm ignoring you. It's quite possibly because I don't know the answer and I got to do some research, because there's a lot of comments that I've missed. So thank you for watching. Hope this was interesting for you. Sorry it's been so long, but I do hope to see you for my next video, which should be my range impressions of this rifle. So see you again next time.